living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see it through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, it helps futures lose pride.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Diet Free Life with yours truly, Robert Ferguson, aka Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. And I am excited and delighted as always to be with you guys and to share information that I know can be very helpful, beneficial. And today is no different than any other time we go live or I upload a video because I want you to be informed. Now, if you're here for the first time and you're catching me on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe. And when you click subscribe, make sure you re-look at it and click on all so that whenever we go live, you will be notified, as well as whenever we upload a new video, you will know it's there. And then at your convenience, you can, watch it or listen to it while you're washing the dishes or whatever you're doing. Okay. Now, today, I want to take a moment and I want to talk about electrolytes. I wrote an article, and if you don't have the time and you like to read and you want to get right into it, you can scroll down underneath this video, and there's a link. And it'll take you to my article/blog, and you can read it. Everything is substantiated. It probably will take you about 5 minutes to read it over a cup of coffee, tea, or whatever beverage you choose to enjoy, or just read it. But I always like to provide some type of video, version of what my goal is, right? So you can hear me explain some things here. Some people don't want to read an article. Some people prefer to read the article. And some people like a combination of both because when I explain it, things that may not be in the article will come up, or I'll be able to share in a way that will help it resonate with you. Okay. All of that being said, why am I talking about electrolytes? Well, and most people don't even know what an electrolyte is. Well, and when I say that, that's not to make it where we don't want to be informed, or I'm assuming you aren't aware of what they are. I'm just stating the facts, because today we live in a world where people just take any supplement. There's not a lot of critical thinking. And I know sometimes you need to have some level of education. Doesn't mean you had to go to school, but some type of discernment when you just start taking stuff. And what a lot of people, or many people, don't realize is that with the growing problems that continue to show up when it comes to people's health, many of these challenges people are facing with their health, I believe, and have seen in my own practice, are the result of taking supplements. And if you didn't know it, supplements are not regulated by the FDA. And most supplements will just stay out into the marketplace until they cause a whole bunch of damage that they get reported again and again and again before the FDA actually takes a look at it. So there's a whole bunch of people that have a whole bunch of health problems that are caused by supplements. And think about that just for a second. Seriously, think about what I just said. You're taking a supplement wanting to be healthier, but that supplement that you're taking is actually playing a role in why you're not getting healthier. Just think about that. And then you have people who sell supplements, right? Direct sales, network marketing, multi-level marketing, which I'm a fan of and which I do. But I'm not someone that jumps on any kind of product. And I could never recommend something that I know is not beneficial. I can't. But a lot of people can, and most of them do because they don't even know, right? It's like the blind leading the blind. So the goal of this conversation, my goal is to help some of you wake up, become informed, and realize that that supplement that you're taking that claims to provide you with these electrolytes is probably a waste of your time and more likely to create damage. And I'll tell you right now, before I go into the basics, I've had clients who were supplementing with electrolytes, didn't have any blood pressure issues. Then out of nowhere, 2-3 months later, they got some blood pressure issues. Now, because I'm coaching them and they're my client, I'm looking at all the things they're consuming, and I'm going to tell them the truth. And one of my clients literally was supplementing with electrolytes. And when you get too many of certain electrolytes, it can play a role in your blood pressure going up. Think about that. Now, what if I was not coaching this person? Interesting. Now, before I dive in, I also had someone, because when I posted and shared this article on Facebook, I had a little interactions with some of the people. And someone was telling me, hey, I need a boost. I need a bump. I'm going to take this electrolyte supplement. It's a reminder of how, and I don't want to be rude, but it's mind-blowing to me that people will read the data, will see the truth, and find a way to make it work for them. And I'm sorry, because some of you are out there selling electrolytes and you don't want people to hear this message. And it's sad because you are compromised. You're compromised because you make money selling a product that most people don't even need. So let me walk you through my article and answer any questions that some of you may have. And let me get this set up so that I can see those on Facebook. And I hope I didn't get anybody too upset, or they're like, I can't believe he's putting down, electrolytes. I'm sorry. But it's the truth. And as I walk you through this, tell me if I'm crazy as I walk you through this. Okay. So number one, when you look at electrolytes, I want to give you this example. Okay, let's better understand what they are. Number one, so I want you to think of your body like it's a house. Okay, your body's a house, and electricity makes it possible for the lights to turn on, right? And the refrigerator to run, and the microwave, I can turn that on too. But when the wiring gets overloaded, which happens, the breakers trip and damage can happen. So we all get that. Electrolytes work the exact same way. They are essential for life. Okay, you must consume them. Your body's not making them. But too much can overload the system, especially when they come from supplements instead of food. Supplements instead of food. See, I eat food and a variety of food, and I coach and teach people how to eat food. I'm a food as medicine guy. I'm about food and not supplements. So I know that electrolytes are in the food that I'm eating. So I would not need to supplement with some powdered packaged electrolyte stuff. I don't need to drink electrolytes, right, in the liquid form, because I get it in food. And let me also just share with you that I've trained many people to become world champions. I've put people on the Olympic team. I've worked with people in many different sports, professional basketball players, professional baseball players, professional MMA fighters, professional boxers, professional soccer. I have worked with a lot of athletes over the years, and I have never, ever recommended any of my high profile clients, pro athletes, to supplement with some electrolytes. Never. Now, some of you are like, well, I'm different. Okay. Keep fooling yourself, right? Like the person who made a comment, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because everybody else is doing it. It's unbelievable. Now, here we are today where you have electrolyte drinks, as I mentioned. You got powders, you got packets, they're everywhere. And many are marketed as daily hydration products, right? Because they taste good. And everybody's like, I got to get hydrated, get hydrated, get hydrated. Yeah, you want to take your electrolytes. Okay, you're getting electrolytes through food. What would help you get the electrolytes throughout your body is to make sure you're drinking enough water. You don't need to add electrolytes to it. Just drink the water. That's it. And I know we all want to buy something, take something because we think that's going to give us the edge and that's going to help us. You are fooling yourself and you're part of the big lie that's out there. Now, electrolytes are minerals. Okay, they're minerals. And they carry an electric charge to them. So electrolytes are minerals and they carry an electrical charge to them. Okay. And when mixed with water in your body already, that charge allows cells to communicate. That's it. That summarizes everything. Minerals that carry an electric charge, and when they interact with water in your body, makes it possible for the cells to communicate. Sodium is an electrolyte. Potassium is an electrolyte. Magnesium, calcium, chloride, and phosphate. Those are your primary electrolytes. Now, what do they do? Electrolytes help with heart rhythm, muscle development or movement. And remember that one. Nerve signals, fluid balance. A lot of times when my clients aren't drinking enough water, they will retain water. So they'll be heavier on the scale. When they increase their water intake, the electrolytes are getting out there better. And because they're hydrated, they'll be lighter on the scale. So the more water you drink throughout the day, the less water your body will retain and hold on to. So drinking water is your friend. And it helps with blood pressure, electrolytes, and energy production. Okay. So I'm grabbing my article because there's a couple things I want to go over. And I don't want to miss these key things for you. And I'm a big believer that we should always look at from whence we come, or how did things get to this place where today more people than ever are supplementing with electrolytes. How did this even come about? How did you even learn about electrolytes? Well, a lot of it has to do with this. There was a football organization, a football team, University of Florida. And in the 1960s, they, if you're in Florida and you're working out 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, you're wearing pads and you're sweating and it's hot in Florida. You're perspiring nonstop. Well, your muscles start to cramp. People pass out. Whole bunch of negatives, even some bad things. Heart attacks. So they were like, well, how are we going to practice? How are we going to get things done? I mean, people are drinking water, but we're running into a lot of problems. Well, when you are sweating a lot, or if you get sick, like the flu and you're vomiting and diarrhea, you're losing a lot of electrolytes, right? And you're not replenishing. You're going to run into some problems. So when someone says, well, who should, supplement with electrolytes? Someone like that, someone who's going for a 2-3 mile run, they're sweating like nonstop, or you get really sick. I mean, you've heard of Pedialyte. But like I said, all of the people I've trained over the years, all the pro athletes, Olympic level, world class level, I've never had them supplement with electrolytes. We've never been in a situation like that because of food and water. We're good. But if I was in Florida, it makes sense. And as a result of them seeing the problem back then, the Florida Gators, the team, well, they're the reason the product came out called Gatorade. So in my article, I kind of broke down a little timeline from the 1960s, 70s through the 80s, the 90s, the 20s to where we are right now, where people are buying this stuff and supplementing and don't even need it. Not at all. You're just whoops. Now, some people, I don't know. I don't understand some of you people. I really don't get it. And I don't mean to be rude, but why would you supplement with something that you don't benefit from at all? Like there's no benefit. I don't get it. I really don't. And again, if you're an endurance athlete, you're training, there's some conditions going on, or maybe your doctors wants you to supplement. Okay, that makes sense. But some of these electrolytes, let me just tell you, like some of the things some of the problems that can happen. Blood pressure could go up. Electrolytes can cause you to experience fluid retention. It can strain the heart and your kidneys. Think about that. You're taking a supplement and it's straining your heart and your kidneys. Like excess potassium, it can disrupt the heart rhythm, cause muscle weakness, and dangerous for people with kidney disease. Excess magnesium cause diarrhea, nausea. Think about someone who they're popping their supplements. They eat regular food throughout the day. They're not living with insufficient amount of magnesium, but they're popping this electrolyte, and now they got diarrhea. Where did that come from? They're thinking, where did the diarrhea come from? Excess magnesium can lead to weakness and confusion. Excess calcium, which is part of the electrolyte family, can raise kidney stone risks. It can also interfere with other minerals. Excess chloride can disrupt fluid balance and worsen blood pressure, especially when it's attached to sodium. Excess phosphate weakens bones over time and stresses your kidneys. I don't get it. Now, in my article, and I'm almost done, I wrote down like a little script of a conversation that takes place between a doctor and the patient. So the doctor says, "Are you taking any supplements?" It's like a tang. I like that. So the doctor asks, "Are you taking any supplements?" The patient says, just in a electrolyte powder, I thought it was healthy. The doctor says, well, how often? The patient says, every day, sometimes twice a day, because it makes my water taste good. The doctor then says, that may be contributing to your blood pressure and your kidney labs that aren't looking really good. And the patient goes, really? And the doctor says, electrolytes help when you need them, but too much is a different story. I'm going to stop reading it. It's there. The references are there. And I'm sharing this to help you guys. I know some people are selling electrolytes and they'll say, oh, that guy is talking crazy. Don't believe him. I'm not telling you to buy something else. Print out the article, copy and paste it, send it to the person who sells you the electrolyte supplement and say, hey, I read this article. What do you think? Because I've been buying these electrolytes and I'm not a pro athlete. I don't work out for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. I'm not living in an environment where we're sweating profusely all day. I don't have diarrhea. I'm not sick. I don't have the flu. So can you remind me again why, aside from maybe this electrolyte powder is making my water taste better, can you remind me why I would want to be supplementing with electrolytes on a daily basis? Can you please do that for me? All right, let's see what you guys got to say about this. What's up, Lori? Lori caught me. Gloria, she says, what about teenagers active in sports? Many of them are depending on drinks like Gatorade. What do you think of taking a pinch of salt? Okay, Gloria, probably you don't know this about my background, but I have been a nutritionist and coach for many professional athletes. Not 1 or 2, not 4, many at the highest level. I've worked with many world champions that boxed on Showtime, HBO, pay-per-view. I was a nutritionist and conditioning guy for a TV show called The Contender. I've helped people make the Olympic team. I've coached and trained and been a nutritionist for a whole bunch of ultimate fighters, professional baseball, professional basketball. I was a high school wrestling coach. I'm a former world champion. So, all that being said, and I was responsible for their health and well-being and performance. I've never had a client, any of these people, drink Gatorade or supplement. Now, a lot of kids get caught up in what they see on a commercial. But when you talk to someone who's actually done it, I'm giving you valuable advice. Now, if it's in the heat of summer and your kid is out there for 2-3 hour football practice, they're getting some water, but not enough. Maybe you cook food for your kid. Maybe you don't. Okay. I don't see where there's going to be a problem. But this is where we got to get to a point, or I hope we all get to a point where we can just think it through. And that's why I like to write articles, so people have something to read and then give them the references so it's substantiated. It's not my opinion. I just happen to have a very strong, solid background and experience in working with people at the highest level. That means something to some people. I still consult people. I still get calls. I still get many questions. And I help people when I can help them. Now, some people, because they work out, they go, nah, I know what works for my body. Okay. God bless you. Yeah, because I don't know. Maybe they know that works for their body. But if you end up having some blood pressure challenges, or if you find yourself dealing with some other challenges, don't get upset with me. I know parents who had their kids supplementing with electrolytes, and their kids aren't even out of high school and got kidney issues. And trust me, they were drinking all kind of stuff, the energy drinks, the Gatorades, popping, supplements with electrolytes. So what would a 17, 18-year-old, 16-year-old kid be? Why would they be having problems with their kidneys? And it's more common today than ever. And it's always kids who are athletes. I mean, let's just use a little bit of critical thinking here and think about this. So if you have a high school kid and they got some kidney issues, the doctor's trying to figure out what's going on, look at what supplements they're taking, okay? Look at what supplements they're taking. Shout out to Miguel. He said, which sport were you a former world champion in? So I've been a martial artist since I was 5 years old, Miguel. I don't talk about it because people love to talk about it when it comes up. And I've trained a whole bunch of guys in MMA. And I won a world championship title in MMA called Cage Combat. And fought 4 world champions when I fought, but trained a whole bunch of people in that space. And, some students from white belt all the way to on the UFC. I even have some of my students now that are still training other people, and they got people in the UFC all the time. I just don't talk about it. Not that I'm not proud of it, because I am. But when I talk about it, then people sometimes, they're like, wait a minute, you're the nutritionist, but I like them to discover that later. I don't like to lead with it, right? Because then all they want to talk about is, you train with Tito Ortiz, you train with this person, you train with Chuck Liddell, you did. Then that's all they want to talk about. And I don't want to talk about that. So anyway, Gloria says, wow. And see, look, Lori, you learned something new about me. Okay. Didn't know. Oh boy. Yep. I've done a lot and had a whole bunch of fun doing it. So, okay. Any questions about this supplement stuff that we're talking about? I did my job. I've delivered the article. You guys, I would print it out. And just remember that electrolytes, they are essential. They're minerals. They come with an electrical charge. And as they interact with water inside of our body, it makes it possible for our cells to communicate more effectively. Electrolytes are very important. Our body gets plenty of electrolytes from the foods that we eat. The only thing I'll bring up now that's coming to mind is if you're doing like a diet like keto or omnivore, carnivore, or some diet where you're avoiding food groups, sometimes those people may not be getting a good amount of electrolytes through the food they eat. Okay, for instance, I like potatoes, and potatoes come with a good amount of potassium. That's an electrolyte. I like bananas. Bananas come with a good amount of potassium. So imagine someone who doesn't eat bananas. They'll never eat another potato. Then they may not be getting an adequate amount of potassium through the foods that they eat because they're avoiding food groups. So sometimes you can see that could be a problem for someone. And if they have an idea about it, or if they're working with a nutritionist, then there's ways to supplement without taking on a large variety of electrolytes, and just get the ones that you may be falling short on. And then keep an eye on how your body is responding, how you feel, blood pressure, not like, do you feel weak? Like all of those things, just make sure you keep a close eye on that, and you should be fine. Those people are usually going to be just fine. Okay. Let me see. Miguel, LOL. I don't know what the laughing is about. Okay. So Gloria says, I'm assuming you're referring to rebuilding the kids' electrolytes. When you eat food, so let's say your kid eats food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner tomorrow, then he has electrolytes. If he eats it today, he has electrolytes, right? Now, if your kid is dehydrated because they got the flu or they got really sick and they've been vomiting and diarrhea, okay, again, Pedialyte. You can speed up the process, right? Maybe even drink a Gatorade. But if you're eating and you're not experiencing all of those negatives, what are you trying to speak? What is there to speed up? You have electrolytes and you have them stored in your body. What you want is you want a systemic effect where you want the electrolytes to flow throughout the body. How do you think you do that? You drink more water. That's how. So start with drinking more water. And if you're eating regular food, then you're going to be okay. Miguel asked the question, what is my take on the eat for your blood type? I have written articles on this. I know a lot about it. And I take my hat off to the guy that wrote the book, Eat for Your Blood Type, because he bamboozled a whole bunch of people. He hoodwinked a lot of people. He came up with this. Again, we're always looking for something, right? So as a nutritionist, my job is to teach you how to eat. And once you know how to eat, you don't get hoodwinked. You don't get caught up in fads and things that are going to be here for a moment and gone and then maybe come back at another time. You know how to eat. You understand food, right? So we teach people how to combine everyday regular foods in a way that's going to help them optimize blood sugar, what we call the insulin response to food, which means cutting down cravings. We'll put them in a position to lose weight. And it's not some fad, like I'm going to lose weight today and then I'm going to be on something else in 6 months. Now, some of you prefer that type of life. You prefer to lose weight knowing you're probably going to gain it back. And I'm not being sarcastic. It's the truth. Some of you just don't want to learn. You know, like there's a lady I was talking to recently, and she does intermittent fasting. A whole bunch of people I meet that do intermittent fasting. And I shared with her a study, which she couldn't hear me because it's like you get blind. You don't want the truth, right? Because you want what you're doing to work out for you. And you believe it's working out for you because you're smaller and you're not gaining your weight back. But nowhere in any of that are they learning. Nowhere in there is their knowledge of food going up. And as my favorite book says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. So continue to live with a life around nutrition as we know how important it is on our health and well-being, and just live with a lack of understanding and knowledge. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like to know, like my daughter, for instance, I'll give you a quick example. Then I'll finish with the lady and a lot of you who do intermittent fasting, because there's certain things you don't even know about. Actually, let me just stay there. When you're a 40-plus-year-old woman and you don't eat breakfast because you're doing intermittent fasting, there's a switch called mTOR, mTOR, that gets turned on because you broke your morning fast by eating a certain amount of protein that would come with your breakfast. When you don't turn that on, your body shifts into starvation mode and you begin compromising skeletal muscle. If you compromise skeletal muscle, you also are compromising bone density. The number one way to speed up how fast you age in your face is to not activate and keep and preserve that skeletal muscle. So those people tend to age a little bit faster. And they get good. They can get Botox and they can learn how to do their makeup a little bit better. But some of that is you can't get it back. So if I could show you the whole full science on all of that, why would you intermittent fast when you know you're losing skeletal muscle? And that's why on the scale, you're not gaining weight. And a lot of these people work out, so they induce it. It speeds it up even more because they wake up, they'll work out, not eat, and a switch never gets turned on. That is because they are ignorant. And once they know and they choose not to learn, they become obstinate. The Bible refers to people who are obstinate as stiff-necked. They can't look to the left or right. They don't want to hear anything. They think they know. And they don't want to know anything other than what they believe they understand. And in psychology, that's called confirmation bias. They're not even open to learning anything else. Now, with knowledge, and my last point, the other day I'm at the grocery store with my daughter. She wanted to pick up a few things, right? Groceries. So we're going, and I see her buy a can of soup. And I grab the can, and I let my kids do what they're going to do. But I was curious to see if she was getting one that was bioengineered, right? That I knew had a relationship to glyphosate, which glyphosate is what they use as part of the product. So whenever you see on any product labeled somewhere around the ingredients or on the back, sometimes they're starting to hide it because they use QR codes. But if it says contains bioengineered food ingredients, that's GMO. That's genetically modified organism. You're getting glyphosate. Glyphosate is what they use to grow this stuff, right? And glyphosate, if you didn't know this, is an antibiotic. What does an antibiotic do to a person's gut health? It wipes it out. So because I love my daughter and I want her to be informed, I'm going to point out certain things because I actually love her and I care about her. And I know that what I'm sharing is true. Now, some people don't really care about what their kids eat. They don't. And you can see it in their actions. They buy them whatever and they just watch them eat it, knowing that there's going to be some negatives down the road. I'm not that dude. Now, if my daughter has a fit and just wants to eat, something that contains bioengineered food ingredients, what can I do? I love her. I can't force her. It is what it is. But at least I'm going to let her know about it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Is there any other questions while I'm on here? Any other questions? Okay, I think we're good. I believe we're good. So as far as the sound today, was the visual and sound on point? Is the words in alignment with what you're hearing? We did some testing yesterday, and I had a few people help me out with that, and I appreciate it. And let me see. I'm going to wait until I get somebody to respond and give me some feedback on that. But I hope this was helpful, you guys. And if there's something I missed, and I need to add it to the article, just let me know. I will definitely 100% do that because I'm here to be of service and to be of support for everybody I know and come in contact with. And it breaks my heart when I see people that I care about and know running around with powdered electrolytes. And I know for a fact the chances of it helping them is like nada. The potential risk of it not being helpful is much higher. So I'm going to say something. You know what I mean? I'm going to say something. So anyway, get ready. Oh, before we go, there's some events coming up, some big ones coming up. It looks like Florida, Las Vegas, North Carolina is on my goal list. Bali, Florida again. Kentucky is on my goal list. And I know, Miguel, you're out there, so we're going to make that happen. I'll tell you more when we have our conversation. But I definitely want to get to Lexington and spend some time up in Louisville as well as Bowling Green. So I'll tell you about that as well. But those are on the list at this very moment. Okay. All right. Look at Amy Pryan. You know what? I got to say Darlington. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about that later, Amy. Anyway. All right, you guys, thank you very much. I hope we have a better understanding of electrolytes. Oh, big shout out to Sandy Silver. She caught me on YouTube. What's up, Sandy? I'm starting to get it where I can see everybody on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, different pages in Facebook. We're getting it down. We are getting prepared for 2026. We are going to be in the mix in a big way. All right. This is Diet Free Life with Robert Ferguson. Thank you for your time. And remember, if you get a chance, go over to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. It does help. And I can already see we got some momentum as far as the algorithm is starting to pick us up. And as long as we continue to deliver and share information that can be helpful for people today and not something they have to wait 6 months for, then we're doing our job. And that's what it's all about, is doing something that's paying it forward to make a difference in other people's lives. Okay, I'm out of here. Until tomorrow, peace.
In a world of diets, there's a new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With Diet Free Life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With Diet Free Life, it helps futures lose body.